Look at the driveway of a secret millionaire and you won't see a supercar. You'll see a decade-old sedan that bought them their freedom.
Marcus pulls his charcoal Audi Q7 into the office garage at exactly 9 o'clock.
He took out a high-interest loan for this machine just 6 months ago, and every 30 days, nearly $900 vanishes from his bank account.
He chooses the spot right next to the glass elevator bank. He wants his colleagues to register the leather interior and the polished rims before they even start their morning meeting.
Marcus is a senior analyst making roughly $95,000 a year.
To him, the vehicle is an external validation of his status, a shiny metal shield against the reality of his empty savings account.
On the other side of that same parking structure, Alina secures her 2019 Honda Accord. She bought it with cash from a private seller for $20,000.
It has a slight scuff on the door handle from a grocery cart, but Alina doesn't mind because the engine is bulletproof.
Alina is the director of strategy at the same firm. She earns $115,000. While they walk into the same lobby, their financial lives are light, years apart.
Marcus has a net worth of $15,000 once you subtract his credit cards and that massive auto loan.
Alina is worth $1.2 million. One is pretending to be wealthy, the other actually is. The car is the ultimate filter.
This video explores why the truly affluent avoid the luxury trap and how that one choice creates a massive wealth gap over time. A car is either a tool for transit or a cage for your capital. Let's look at the actual data on what the rich drive. According to massive surveys of American millionaires, the median price they paid for their latest car was just over $31,000.
Even for those with $10 million in the bank, that number only climbs to about $42,000. Compare that to the national average.
Today, the typical American consumer is paying over $48,000 for a new ride.
This means the middle class is spending significantly more on depreciating assets than the millionaires they are trying to emulate.
Research shows that 61% of people earning over $250 million annually are driving Fords, Toyotas, and Hondas.
These families could buy a fleet of Porsches, yet they choose a Civic or a truck. Only a small fraction of high earners opt for luxury badges.
Why? Because they understand that a car is a wealth shredding machine. The moment you drive off the lot, 20% of the value evaporates.
By the 5-year mark, you've lost nearly half your money. Yet, the average car payment has skyrocketed to over $750 a month. Many people are locked into 7-year loans, paying for a hunk of metal that is worth less than the debt attached to it. They are drowning in negative equity while trying to look successful. Let's run the math on Marcus versus Alina. Marcus pays nearly $900 a month for his Audi lease. After 3 years, he has spent over $30,000 and owns absolutely nothing.
He'll likely trade it for another lease because he's addicted to the new car, smell, and social status.
Alina's used Honda costs her about $300 a month. When you spread the purchase price and maintenance over the decade, she plans to keep it.
That $500 monthly difference is the secret sauce. If Alina invests that extra cash into a simple index fund at 8% over a 30-year career, that car gap grows to nearly $750,000. Think about that. One choice, driving an Accord instead of an Audi, is worth $750,000 in retirement. It is the difference between retiring in luxury at 55 or working until 75 because you needed people to see you in a German SUV.
Alina's wealth isn't a fluke. It's the result of protecting her margins. Wealth is what you don't see. It's the money not spent on status.
Data from major studies shows that 88% of millionaires are self-made. They didn't inherit a fortune. They built it by keeping their expenses low.
Interestingly, the top professions for millionaires aren't just high-paid surgeons. They are teachers, engineers, and accountants.
Teachers, who we often think of as underpaid, frequently hit seven figures because they are disciplined with their big rocks of spending.
There are 3 psychological reasons why the car is the biggest wealth killer. First is the sheer size of the expense.
After your mortgage, the car is your biggest drain. You can skip all the latties you want, but you can't save $1,000 monthly car payment.
Second is the duration. A car loan is a multi-year anchor. It becomes a background noise expense that you stop questioning even as it drains your future every single month.
Third is social signaling. We use cars to tell a story. We want the valet, the neighbor, and the date to think we've made it.
But that story is usually a work of fiction. Marcus's Audi is a lie told to strangers. Elena's Honda is a truth told to her bank account.
Marcus spends 15% of his gross pay on his car. Financial experts suggest keeping that number under 10%.
Elena is at 5%. That 10% gap is where her wealth is born. Thomas Stanley's research highlighted a group he called U's, vehicle-prone shoppers.
These people had the highest net worth-to-income ratios. They weren't frugal because they were rich. They became rich because they were frugal with their cars.
Look at the icons of wealth. Warren Buffett famously drove an older Cadillac for years. The founder of IKEA drove a 20-year-old Volvo. Mark Zuckerberg is often seen in a basic hatchback. To these people, a car is just a box with wheels.
When it becomes a status symbol, it becomes a liability, not just to your wallet, but to your mindset.
You start making choices based on what others think instead of what actually builds your life. Sarah Stanley Fallaw noted that spending in anticipation of wealth is a trap.
It makes you a slave to your salary. Marcus is performing a lifestyle he hasn't earned yet, and that performance is exactly what will prevent him from ever truly attaining it.
Now, you might argue you need a reliable car, but reliable doesn't mean expensive. Brands like Toyota and Mazda dominate reliability rankings. A 4-year-old Camry with 40,000 miles is statistically one of the safest bets on the planet.
It has already survived the biggest drop in value, and it will likely run for another 15 years with basic oil changes.
You aren't buying a beater, you are buying an engineered tool at a massive discount. Let's look at the lifetime cost of 2 different paths.
Person buys a new $48,000 car every 6 years. Between interest and depreciation, they lose hundreds of thousands over their life.
Person B buys a 3-year-old vehicle for $22,000, keeps it for 8 years, and repeats.
The difference in cash flow, when invested, results in nearly $1 million swing by retirement age.
Why don't more people do this? Because it requires a psychological shift. You have to be okay with being unimpressive in the short term.
The car is an identity anchor. If you feel like you are somebody because of what you drive, you are vulnerable to marketing.
The truly wealthy have made peace with being invisible to the crowd. They don't care about the complement economy.
They care about the compounding economy. Changing your car changes your entire financial philosophy.
Once you move the big rock of an auto payment, you start seeing the pebbles, like subscriptions, and dining out more clearly.
You stop the lifestyle creep. Marcus is 34. If he traded his Audi today and invested the difference, he'd have nearly $900,000 more by age 60.
But he likely won't because he's trapped in the parking lot mindset. Elena, at 47, already has a car gap portfolio worth hundreds of thousands.
She will retire early while Marcus wonders where his money went. The parking lot at your office is a graveyard for potential wealth.
Every morning, people pull in and park their retirement in a designated stall, but you don't have to follow them.
If you enjoyed this breakdown on how the wealthy think differently, please hit the like button and subscribe to Winds of Thought.
The car you drive is not just transportation. It's a physical manifestation of your financial future.
Are you building an impression or are you building a life?
Financial literacy is about seeing the traps before you walk into them.
In your 20s, it's the debt. In your 30s, it's the car. In your 50s, it's the regret. Every age has its test. The millionaires driving the $30,000 cars passed the test. They understood that every dollar has two prices, what it costs today and what it would have been worth in 30 years.
Margaret chose the second price. Tyler is still paying the first. Which one are you? If you want more insights into the hidden math of wealth, check out our other videos.
Choose your path carefully, because while the world might forget your car by tomorrow, your future self will remember every dollar you chose to save today.